mysteries of the unknown.
Russ Adams. Best sculpture I've ever done.
Egomaniac.
Oh, what is going on? Dude, we're back.
Finally, man.
Do you feel like $1 million or 10,000?
Yeah, just about 10 grand.
I'd say both pretty good. Both's better than me. I feel like I'm in debt 10 grand or something.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know.
College student loans haven't paid off.
Oh, man. Welcome back to another episode of Into the Layers. To be straight up honest, Nate and I just recorded a whole episode that we are almost sure will never be seen. So I was going to make a statement that I already made, but yeah, it would have been phony. But I guess I should make it. They haven't seen the new digs, man.
Oh,
because we haven't done an episode in forever.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I watched Brooks, and then I think that's the only one I've seen with the new setup.
That was it. Yep. And it's funny because they're staggered. Like, we did all of ours. We did a bulk of ours before we did any of the others. So like some of those shows start with immediate better development, and then some look like shit.
And this one looks like shit the whole time, except now.
This one looks bad just because we're in it.
But I mean, yeah, bloated fucking white guys.
Look at this set, man. I think this shot kind of is now close to what you kind of wanted, right?
Yeah, this is not showing my fucking knees anymore.
See, that's the thing. I think we ironed out like that focal length works for this, but that 14 millimeter would be dope, because the problem when we get three of us is there's just no way around that shot.
Dopamine.
Just shoot some dopamine.
Yeah, that's instead of saying that's dope, I'm just saying it's dopamine.
No, dude, that's straight up dopamine, bro.
That's dopamine, dog.
I wonder if that's what it came from. It had to. Or did it mean it's dope? Like that's weed? Or what was dope really? Heroin?
I don't know.
Initially? I don't know. Well, fun topics. Talking about my deficit. Dude, this is so bad. I wish
it's only fucking midnight.
I know. I wish it was a comedy podcast so we could be like, oh, our bits weren't landing. No, we were talking about shit that would
get us canceled.
Yep. That's right. And didn't even mean to. We were skirting it even carefully, but that's too much these days. And that's sad.
Still like down the middle and like.
But you know what's cool about it in a weird way? We can talk about it, just not what we were talking about. And that's cool, because what should be said is it is too bad that you and I are two of the most centrist people I know. We literally don't lean one way or another. We're very open-minded, very inquisitive. And even as careful as we were being, probably not in our best interest to put that out. Isn't that wild?
I know.
Being so respectful, so careful, not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but still, it's like, it doesn't matter, dude.
It's right now, there's so many trigger words.
That's right.
That literally what it is. It's trigger.
It's not the dramatic trigger like when I was raising my little sister and everyone in high school is triggered. It's real trigger words. Like you're really affecting someone.
Yeah.
And we don't want to do it. We don't want to do that. Right. Even if the summary is that we don't get canceled for anything we said, you could hurt someone genuinely, and I don't want to do it. I just don't think it's worth it. I don't have enough pride to think anyone needs my opinion on anything we talked about.
We dumb as fuck.
That's it. See? Then you say it always more graceful than me.
Another one.
Dude, you've got that so good now.
Another one. Yeah, I mean,
it's close. You had a little bit of that northerner twang, but it was good. I need to, dude, we should just reset all the samples to us trying to emulate them.
I want to see you do the music part. Just like
the music, yeah.
Close, yeah.
Just beatbox the whole intro. I suck at it.
No, I suck.
But it sucks because the first half of that episode we just shot was really good, I thought. It was honest, it was real.
Put it out for like a 30-minute.
I could actually, as you leave this as a preface and just be like, hey, on YouTube, because it won't make sense audio only, go find that where we cut it off. Because it really was good. We talked. I don't remember
what we were talking about.
Me neither, but I know it was like really good.
It was
we were
okay.
Getting
we
into
started
it,
fine. We had some good jokes.
Yeah, we did. But we started. Fuck.
And then it was like trigger word,
trigger word, trigger setting, trigger paragraph, trigger book.
Yep.
Yeah, it was upset. That's too bad. And it's sad too. I feel missed because like I just wish things could just be discussed. You know, and that's the sad part is like we come into this with 35 subscribers. Like we're not pushing the YouTube thing. It's not like we've made some big marketing push and failed or anything. But even with that many, I'm still like, I want to be a podcast that can talk about that stuff. And we're trying, aren't we trying in some ways to normalize conversation?
I think that's the key word though. And I was thinking that when we were talking about it is like the discussion part is where I think everybody's just broken down now. Like everybody's super pissed off, and we're not discussing anymore. Because as soon as you say something, and I do it too, man. Like if you say something real extreme, I'm just gonna shut you off, or
shut yourself off and just
that's what I mean.
Be a
just
witness to it. Yeah.
Like all right.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
And we do, that's the nature of podcasts. Is they're a long format, and they do kind of cater to rants and long form speak, and that is what it is. But there definitely is a fine line between ranting and conversation. And I will say, in hindsight, even though it sucks that they don't know what we're talking about, some of that was a little ranty. I think that's where a lot of my self-consciousness lies, where it's like, it's going to be taken like that to some people because it comes off like that, even if we're being careful.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really two-sided. Not even in our situation.
No.
I mean, in general, it wasn't that open. And that is like, that's the problem. Like, again, I don't make the rules. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know.
And that's why we're cutting it, because it wasn't two-sided, really.
But you know what? We can make it a triumph by making this one dopamine.
Dopamine.
So, I guess we can wrap a little bit what we were saying last time, at least for the general context and setting is, I'm feeling hopeless. I'm feeling down.
Oh, yeah, you were feeling rough.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
For a long stretch.
Yep. And I think my point overall was it's all going to work out.
Oh, dude. I love you and you're the best. Thank you for that. But that's the part that I'm really going to miss cutting is the Robin Williams anecdotes and the comparison to.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say it quick in a summary and move on with our episode. I think we both identify with him. I was talking about how I really relate to Robin had this thing where like he just really didn't want people to feel how he felt, regardless of why he felt that way. And so, that was the thing. He was the guy. I mean, like, I remember when he died, people using the Pagliacci, the great Pagliacci story about, I don't know if Watchmen made that. I don't know if that was just part of the graphic novel or if that's a real tale. But in summary, and I'm butchering this already, it was like this guy had tried everything to feel better, crippling depression, and just didn't want to go on. And was telling his doctor he's at the end of his rope that nothing worked. And the doc said, okay, listen, the great Pagliacci's in town. He's so funny. You're going to love it. You got to go there and lighten up and just, again, I'm summarizing and misspeaking, but basically that was the gist. And he says, but doc, I am Pagliacci. And I always felt like that was Robin Williams. Always.
Well, so I did too, until I heard that 2 years after he died, he was diagnosed with, post-mortem, Lewy body.
I remember hearing this.
Dementia.
Yep.
And so, which is a really hopeless, terrifying, awful disease that is a form of dementia, but includes other things like
and imagine how frustrating that is.
Anxiety. Well, and so one of his like huge strengths, and I think the reason that he knew something was happening was that his memory was amazing. Apparently, he would look at a script once.
Oh, it generally.
Yeah. Know his lines. He would just had this awesome memory. He realized that was slipping. Other things were slipping.
Yeah.
And so when I heard that he committed suicide, I was, felt bad for him, but he kind of puts you in a different light where you're like, well,
it might not have been all misery. And is that what you mean? Like it might have had basis in like
he was like, oh, I see this going terribly, and maybe
I was just going to say that, a basis in dignity, where you just might listen. I want to control the outcome.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lose. Yeah. It's sad, man. I know people I've heard people talk about him that knew him that said he did have depressive tendencies anyway, but again, it could stem from that. I mean, I know
that could have been a few years leading up to
that's right
diagnosis.
Yeah. It's sad all around. It's too bad the world lost a visionary. I mean, that guy brought so much light to so many people. I mean, literally.
You can look it up. I mean, there's so many stories about just very down to earth things. Like when he wasn't. One of the coolest stories was like, credit to Dan Cummins and Time Suck on this one. But
yes, I need to watch that episode as my first in, because I've told you I'm going to watch them and I haven't. I love Robin. That's going to be my first episode.
Normally Dan Cummins does like crazy serial killer or just very bizarre shit, but this was, I think, one of the first ones he's done about a comic.
Wow.
He's also a comic. So
oh really? What's his name?
Dan Cummins.
I'm going to look him up.
Yep.
Shout out to Dan Cummins.
Shout out, man. He's awesome, doing a lot of work Put in a lot of hard work.
That's good, man.
And
His content's really strong.
yeah, he does a lot of work, a lot of research.
I love that.
Yep. And one of my favorites was Robin Williams apparently was a big gamer. And
I didn't even know that.
They were doing a movie, and the hotel was right in front of a game shop, and he would go into the game shop and work. He would do.
Oh, no way.
He would just show up and like wait on people.
Dude,
fucking like 80% didn't even know who he was.
See, I'm a sad sap, so my Robin Williams anecdote, well, not mine, but my tale of his nicety and his like altruism was Ron White.
Oh, jeez.
I grew up watching the Blue Collar Comedy Tour just because my stepdad loved it.
You threw me into public. I
want to be drunk in a bar. Ron's the man. He's my favorite of that crew. But he talked very emotionally to, and I can't believe I'm forgetting this guy's name. He's on Faction Talk on XM. God damn it. Comedian, iconic voice, not from the Opie and Anthony crew or Rich and whatever. God damn it, whatever, it doesn't matter. I hate forgetting people's names. I'm bad today. Anyway, he was on his show, and I'm watching Ron White talk about when he was struggling with alcoholism. Robin and one of Ron's friends, another comedian, picked him up, and Robin didn't know him. They didn't know each other. And they took him out, and they were talking to him because Robin had suffered from addiction issues, of course. Yeah. And they were just like really kind to him, like acknowledging his troubles and taking him out of that experience and giving him context of the other side. And Ron's choking up and crying about it, Ron White, and saying how like he didn't know him, Robin didn't know him, and he's like he was just so kind for no reason at all. Just saw one of his own in trouble, another comic, and interjected because he could. And it's like, here's the thing, right? We have problems doing this show with no viewers,
right,
and no real setup I mean, I take a while to edit it, but once this room's set up, it's set up. It's not like turning this shit on takes time. Because we're busy, right? Or in our heads, we're busy. Imagine being Robin Williams and finding the time to help an addict who's also a fellow comic that you don't owe that time and doing that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
It's beautiful.
No, he was a lot of stories like that.
Yeah.
Robin Williams. Yep.
It's tough. I know that hit not just the comedy world, but the world. Pretty tough, man. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I grew up on his shit.
Well, comedy, I mean, he was a voice actor, Aladdin. Yeah. I mean, like kids.
Yeah, sensational fucking dude.
Yep.
An artist. Like an artist. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to be that prudy bitch about it, but it's like an artist. Like an artist comedian.
Yeah.
There's comedians, a lot of them funnier than Robin Williams. A lot of them. He is an artist's comedian.
He's the comedian.
Yeah. He's a Renaissance comedian. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's wild. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you got to listen to that podcast.
I'm glad we actually went down that one out of all the things we talked about because I was bummed that would be cut.
I forgot about we did.
I did too till I said it. I really did. I had no plan of bringing that back up, but yeah, he was the best, and that was a loss. But again, we talk about mental health here a lot, even though we're no authority on the topic. We just suffer from it, and whatever. We're here talking about it, so here you are. We did talk about another thing about how this is the most well received out of all the podcasts, even to myself. Like selfishly, you want your own shows to be awesome.
Which is baffling. Like, I have no idea. Why would people even like this?
I don't think people day to day genuinely and candidly put themselves out as far as we've been doing on the show. I think it's actually a little detrimental. And maybe like when I start therapy, they'd be like,
you need to
maybe you don't iron out all your issues to a camera. But, again, let's end the Robin Williams things with this. If it is true that he at no point wanted people to ever have to feel the way he did in his head, I hope that might be something that's noticed on this. I think it's an attempt to maybe if we can do our little part in our little quiet vacuum over here to like be like, it's okay to talk about it. Maybe it makes one fucking person feel comfortable talking about it.
You are not alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's corny, but it's true, dude.
Yeah. There's a lot of people.
That's the only music I listen to. Like Counting Crows are my favorite band, and it's not because they're the best band or Adam's the best writer. It's just I got really into their stuff at a moment when I really need someone to tell me that they were also feeling that way, and he did it perfectly. And that's it. It helped me feel like I was normal.
Yeah. Cool.
And maybe we do that. Maybe it's just fun to hear us be
maybe we
shitty.
I like this.
Maybe it's just a mirror and people are like, these guys are fucked. Like, honey, let's go to that movie.
I'm way better off.
Yeah, suddenly life feels great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And nothing makes you feel better than seeing people in worse shape, right?
That's true. I'm down with it. Nate, the other thing I hate, maybe the biggest thing, there's cracks in that screen. Of course, we're going to let in a plethora of insecticide. You're like, what? Someone's spraying Ronkin? What's the insecticide? Rankin? I don't know. Raid?
Rankin?
I'm thinking of some fucking Mortal Kombat mode. Rankin!
Get over here. What is it?
I don't know.
Finish him.
Oh, yeah, finish him. No, but you talked a ton in the last episode, and I'm always railroading these, so that sucks.
The little train that could. Little engine that could.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Train
psychologist.
Yeah. Does the caboose really need to go where it is? And how do you feel about it being where it is? What's up? Holy hell, what an intro.
How are you feeling,
dude,
man?
16 minutes in.
16 minutes of
I'm feeling like
ranting.
shit. I already said I feel like shit.
I
do.
But you know what's cool is if you were feeling like shit a year ago, I wouldn't be here.
True.
And you are
we said that
like shit.
Yeah, we said that in a few of these episodes, yeah. I would have hit it. I'm over. I can't.
I wouldn't have got a text back.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't have heard from you for a couple weeks.
No. You know what's funny? I could again, if that's our brand, I could go on a tangent with this. I'm seeing the karma of my deficit in other people. Like I was ghosted this week by somebody for no reason, zero reason, but it affected me all week in a big way. And I realized here's the double truth, right? And I remember what you were going to say, but I'll forget this. And the first truth is if they were at a place in their world where it took too much from them to respond, then I have to be okay with that because I preach that.
Because you've been there.
And I've been there and I still will go there, right? So I can't be that upset. But two, that is how much it can affect people. And I've done it and I will do it again. And it's a good lesson in when you're being affected, you're doing that to people when you're doing it. You know what I mean? I never ignored anybody or ghosted somebody to hurt their feelings. That was never an intention of mine. But it does.
But it does.
Yeah. And my feelings were hurt this week. It threw my entire week off all week.
Yeah. It's one of the worst feelings.
Yeah.
Even when like it's a Facebook marketplace and the guy
I had someone on Facebook Marketplace ghost me this week. I swear to God. I'm trying to buy a MacBook Pro because we need a new one for the shows. Like mine's chugging. And I had a chance to save like $1,500. I'm like, I can't pass that up. Even if I don't need one right now. Yeah. If I need one in a year, it's still worth jumping on it, right? Ghosted.
Yeah.
Halfway through the fucking figuring out the specs on it. Never heard back.
Yep.
Weird. And that's not the person I was talking about at the beginning, but
no, but I'm saying
even that.
Even that will fuck you up.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck, what? Yeah, exactly. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But you know what? I started texting people what happened. It's kind of like a get out of jail free card. Like, oh, did you lose service? Just what happened.
That's a nice judo move, dude.
That's all I did.
I need to start doing this.
And it worked.
Really?
Yeah. It's been working a couple times.
Dude, I need to do it. I need to do. You know what I've been doing? Because I'm way high energy, romantic, eccentric, and I realize I'm a lot to handle. So in my business dealings, someone we were talking about earlier that I'm working with, I give them outs. I'm going to give you my craziness. I'm going to be too much, but I'm also going to give you a scapegoat if you really need one. Like I'm going to try to pin you down because we need to, honestly. But I'm also going to give you an out so that you don't actually have to affect your life and find a new date. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be like, 2 p.m. Friday. I totally get it if you can't. This week's been bananas for me too.
I don't agree with that.
It can't be used universally. But if you trust the person, right? If I'm like,
Right.
he's going to be too nice and commit to 2, even if it fucks up his weekend. I don't want him to do that. So if I know
what
he'll
works
reschedule.
for me, what works
Yeah.
for you is what I say.
Oh, right.
Time works for you.
I should have prefaced this with,
Or no, sorry. Does 9 a.m. work?
yeah,
Does 2 p.m. work?
yeah. I should have started that with someone I use this with is frequently doesn't give me something if I ask for it. I don't want this to be descriptive enough for anyone to know who I'm talking about, even if it's them.
I don't know who it is, so.
But they
Unless
might.
It's me.
So like, no, it's not. But this person, if I'm like, what time works for you? I'll be left on red. So it's like I either make an initiative of some timestamp of like some commitment and give them an out.
Which is why I do. Does 9 a.m. work?
Right. Which you're doing what I'm doing in one sentence instead of 2, which is genius. Right. Because if they say no, they're not just going to say no.
Hopefully.
Nope.
No.
Like, well, what the fuck? Like, they're going to be like, no, but 2 p.m. works, right?
No, but.
Right.
Or, does 9 a.m. work? Nothing. What happened?
Dude, yes. Oh, right.
And then they're like, oh, I fucking forgot about that one.
Dude,
So-
these subtleties in linguistics, like we had this rule when we were producing a record in here. The first full record produced in here. Well, it wasn't started in this studio, but it was finished in this one. The first finished project out of the studio. We had a rule over the 5 years it took to make this that it was always going to be yes and.
the improv.
Always.
That's the improv rule.
That's
yeah.
right. And we are all comedies of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, not comedy fans. Jesus Christ, I'm losing it. But that's a good policy because like we realized it's very hard to get multiple minds on the same wavelength and agreeing on the same sound. It's so subjective. So instead of shutting someone down because you're sure it's not better than A, right? Your B is better. You have to be yes and.
I compare that to running. Like you running and then something makes you stop running.
Yeah.
And then you have to start again. Holy fuck.
I know. You know what's funny? Most people don't know. Like, as we used to see each other even after I would see you at gigs at the gym for a short stint. You're working out with a Spanish student.
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah.
Danny Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most people don't know, like when I met Kels, I was running a 5K every other day because I had this loop mapped out. So every day I did 1.5 miles no matter what. But then every other day I would do 3, and then once a week I would do 4.5 because I would just do the loop 3 times.
There you go.
I was running, and now I can only run my mouth.
Yeah. What was that fucking thing you sent me? You run my mouth, and then I did this thing, and then you sent me that chick drinking a beer.
Oh, I love this. So Nate goes, I
was like, I don't get it.
I'm
but
so out of
that
it, dude.
was hot.
I was working, I'm designing, and I'm like trying to come up with a response because I didn't want to leave you with that because I love the GIF. I love just responding in GIFs with people.
Yeah.
You had said I just ran, and I'm a lazy slug, and I'm like, I just ran my mouth because I just got off a phone call, and then you send me something.
Some dude just going like,
yeah,
this,
running,
like,
and then
dude.
I was looking for a Stone Cold Steve Austin smashing beers.
Oh, that's,
and I
almost
found
wrote
her.
Stone Cold female, like the Stone Cold.
I just wrote Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I scroll, and I see her, and I'm like, I'm emasculated and excited right now. What happened? Like, what? These are so at odds.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? That's what you should have responded to. Now you're like, I don't know, dude. I'm falling apart.
What happened? Yeah.
Oh, 23 minutes in. Look at us go. But a lot more,
Back
and
forth.
fun.
Yeah.
Dude, fun. There's enough people. And that's the other thing about the first one. I think we are to our own extent intellectual and objective thinking and centrist enough to have cool opinions and stuff. But the thing is, we're no authority on any of those. And that stuff, like in that other episode we're canning, is talked about at length with so many people. Why, dude?
Yeah, we don't need to get
I'd
way
rather have more, even if it's like really depressing and we're talking about real shit, I'd rather be the authority on my own story. You want to hear stuff I know for sure? Ask me about my story.
Ask me how
You want to know
I'm
stuff
feeling.
you know for sure? Ask you about your story.
Right.
I don't know about that stuff.
Right.
I know what I've
You
been
didn't know.
told about it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna get one of these.
Time for our ad.
Let's read an ad that I don't know about. Let's see. Let's test my improv skills. Nate's been excited about this. I hope I don't
oh my
fail.
god! I hope this doesn't.
Is this
fail.
interactive or do I have
We
to
might-
sit
It's
and just
a little
listen?
interactive.
Okay.
Yeah, but you might have to edit
Okay.
this out.
Dude, you know what other thing I thought about for fun? I don't know what what the logistics are behind the scenes with this, but we could also do ads for companies we like that we're not being paid for just to be funny.
Could that work?
I mean, I don't know that they would care.
And this might work for that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Oh God.
All right.
And okay.
This segment of Into what's the voice? What's the ad voice?
I wish I had ad music like oh.
This segment of Into the Layers brought to you by the Paralleliverse.
Ooh.
Daniel, is your life rock solid and fucking amazing?
No.
Fuck no, it isn't. You hate this life and you need another one.
Another one.
Did you know that cowboy Jeff Bezos and cyborg Elon Musk are building rockets to take people to different planets?
Say what?
Do you like the word? Do you like this world, Daniel? Or do you want to go to another one? Fuck no, you don't.
Oh, it's a call and response. Yeah, I do.
The fuck no, you don't, Daniel.
Oh.
You'd rather watch my grandpa drink orange juice.
I love orange juice.
We ain't staying in this universe, Daniel. How about we go to another one?
Another one.
I gotta go lower, huh? DJ,
Don't critique your. Just yeah.
DJ Khaled and Stephen Hawking have teamed up to bring you the
Another one.
Paralleliverse.
Oh shit! I read that cue wrong.
Have you ever made a mistake, Daniel?
Never.
Fuck yeah, you have. But there's a better version of you who always makes the right choices. He's crushing it, but not in this universe. In another one.
Another one.
Let DJ Khaled and Steven up and walking Hawking bring you to your best reality. Cause fuck this universe. We need another one.
Another
Oh
one.
shit.
For just $19.99 million, we packing morons into wormholes for a ride to the Paralleliverse. And your trip includes the best music.
Music.
Sign up today for the Paralleliverse.com or stay here and watch your grandpa drink juice. He just drained out that shit and he's ready for another one.
Shit.
Another one.
DJ Khaled hates Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
These appears not to be quarters of LLC. No, probably you name it. Podcast LLC. All rights prohibited.
Well done.
Give him the Oscar,
Well done. Well done.
dude.
We going to the Paralleliverse.
When did you write that?
Well, like a few months ago. Well, like, I don't know.
I am
A
so
while
proud.
ago.
I feel like I just gave birth and you grew up and you hate me, but you did well in college. You know what I mean? Like it's enough. I'm proud.
You're like, all right, okay, it's cool.
God damn. And you read it in full character.
Oh yeah, man. I was
God,
DJ
dude.
Khaled voice riding around.
I feel like I'm blowing blanks.
Another one.
Yeah, that was too good.
No, that's good. That's all right.
Fuck.
I think I have another one too. Oh, I do have another one.
No, you don't.
Not today.
What the fuck?
Not today though.
Wink, wink. Dude, that was hot.
Thanks.
That
man.
was the heat.
That was good.
You brought it.
Make sure you go to paralleliverse.com and support our.
Yeah, sign up for our Patreon, 19.999 million. Dude, I had two people who will name. Well, I could name them actually. I don't think either of them care. That are telling me, yelling it at me to start a Patreon. I'm like, how? Okay, I'm not. I am a little. I'm the kid
But
that.
what do we have to like?
I was gonna say I'm the guy that plays shows and never put out a tip jar.
Right.
I just don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like that idea. But that was my point. It's like I'm not actually opposed to it anymore. It's the norm, right? Especially when you have this level of production and you're not making any money. I get it, but who's gonna pay for it? There's no one's like,
So would it cover all the channels?
I don't know. I had come up with an idea of doing as long as people could like not be upset about it, having people pledge to be producers, like make it kind of fun. Like people could be a producer of the show they like, fake, whatever, but they would be pledging to a certain show because that'd be cool. Or no, and just make it simple and have it be a Patreon for the channel and whatever, put it wherever the money's needed or whatever.
That's cool.
I don't know.
Acknowledge them on air, kind of thing.
Yeah, whatever the tiers would be, I'd have to figure it out. I know at one point when I had when I think I told you this, the Doomsday playlist idea. Remember all those highly produced, way too highly produced cover videos I was putting out during the pandemic?
Yes. Yeah.
That was an idea from a year prior.
Oh.
A year before the pandemic. Ready for this? Talk about prophetic. And the idea was I was going to make a TV show, an internet TV show, about how I pass out from a drunk bender in here.
Yep. Oh,
the
that's
world
right.
ends
That's
while I'm
right.
passed out. I wake up, I was going to green screen the window and look out to like, nuclear like colors and
Yeah,
shit. Like
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my God, the world. So I'm pent up in here. And then I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm going to drink myself into my sorrows and listen to my Spotify playlist. And I find out Spotify's offline because it got
So you
messed
have to
up.
remake
I have to
all the
remake my
songs.
favorite songs.
That's right.
And I come up with that idea with the influence of a few friends of mine, some little help here and there, like to iron it, make it a little bit cooler, right? A year before the world actually shut down.
Fucking ended for
How
sure.
weird.
Yeah.
And I didn't produce it. Imagine if I had.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, can you imagine? And thinking of that accidentally in November of whatever the year before was.
So it wasn't even a year. It was like a few months. Because
Yeah.
it was March.
Yeah.
That shit shut
Yep.
down. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It wasn't even, I don't think news had broke, right? I don't know. It was like December. Or maybe it was a full year, though. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. I could look at my messages with Leif and find out.
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever it was, that was the idea. Where was I going with this?
Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. So yeah, because I realized it was going to take a lot of money to produce and a lot of time, I was like, I'll just do a Patreon that's cool. And I made everything themed, like $1 a month. You were like barely a survivor. You were like hiding under manholes. $5 a month. You were a part of the whatever. And so I made it fun. Like if you wanted to be in like a $10 a month club, you would be part of the scavenger crew that would help me leave the studio to go find guests to be on the music show.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been fun as shit, but I didn't do it. I love ideas. I think ideas make me excited. And what's sad, but also nice, is sometimes ideas is all I need.
Me
you know? Like as I get older, not that I didn't follow things through. I actually followed things through more when I was younger. So it's weird. I went through this weird thing. High output with ideas to like obliteratingly low output with a ton of ideas. And I'm trying to climb back. Like I want my ideas to have more output these days. I want to do ideas. I'm not getting younger. Like, and it's not about like I want to make my statement and go. But I kind of want to make my statement and go.
Yeah. Well, and too, you realize like that idea is fun, but it won't work. That idea is fun.
Yes.
But not feasible at this point.
Yep.
Which I'm, same point. I have a ton of respect for people that will tell you their idea and then do it. They're like, I'm going to do this and then do it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know how you pulled that off, but that was cool.
But that's what makes me like when I talk to some of the people that were in my life back then, I had some semblance of that with them. And I'm not that guy now. And it makes me upset.
Yeah,
I used to be that guy.
I wonder what the catalyst is there.
I don't know.
Right? Because there is definitely a ton of ideas. But what gets you to that point where it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of it's naivete.
If you figure it out, we'll fucking write a book about it.
I think it's the luxury of naivete. Naive luxury.
You think so?
I do, because my ambitiousness never changed.
I don't
How
think so.
jaded I was changed.
I have a guy that I know that will say, I'm going to do this. Like I say this, I'm going to do this, and then I don't, because it's like, it's not going to work right now. But he says it, and then he does it. And you're like,
what's the,
fuck.
but what are the intangibles? Does he have like a trust fund or the equivalent?
No, well.
Is his family well off?
No, but.
Kind of. That's huge.
That's the thing, is I don't know his financial situation. That's
and that
the
is
problem.
big, dude. If I went to my in-laws or the equivalent of them, I mean, I've been with her for 10 years. It's like, when am I just going to come on, Daniel, get it together?
Dude.
Anyway, I know. Bang, 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 click, click, reload, bang, bang, bang. But the thing is, like, if I could just go to them with every idea and be like, bankroll this, and they did, I'd be the guy you're talking about. Like there's a line there of what is feasible too.
No, I get it.
And there is that. But dude, I might have to shut this. This room's going to be full of these. Because
there's no screen?
There is.
They come through.
But there's previous owner.
There's so much fucking light in there.
There's so much light, dude. Whatever. If it gets crazy, we'll shut it.
No, financial situation.
It is really big.
I'm not real clear because I don't know if all of it's above board.
Well, that's a huge part. But guess what else? Guess what would render that not a talking point?
What?
Naivete. There's a
I'm
point.
Definitely with you, man.
It's what I'm saying. It's like there's a point now where I wouldn't have had this, where I do have more money at my disposal than I did when I did more things. That's what stops me from doing them.
Because you're like, I have.
Back then, it was like,
I don't need the money now.
Dude. Back then, if an idea bankrupted 20-year-old me, I would have just been 19-year-old
You're like,
me.
I'm out a fucking $100.
That would have been a year ago me, right? It wouldn't have mattered. Now, if I do an idea that bankrupts me, I'm
fucked. So
fucked.
Yeah.
Did you hear how long that deflated?
Do you want to? Oh, that was deflation.
Oh, yeah, it was the air.
That was good.
Yeah. I almost passed out. That's how much I give to this show.
Do you? You want to hear my naivete? It wasn't even like a plan. It was really dumb, but
Yeah, and then let me tell you another one of my ideas that was stolen.
another one.
Another one.
No,
Dude, it's close.
another one.
That was close. He's lower than you.
Another one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
Another one.
Another one.
only hearing like the piano roll. So what?
So I was like, I'm gonna do this, and then I did it, and everybody was shocked. Which is, that's the effect you're going for. I was like, I'm gonna drop out of school. I'm gonna ride my bike through Mexico.
I love this.
And that's my plan right there. And I did it.
You are a poster boy of exactly what I'm talking about. Your story of that,
Yeah.
which we've talked about here,
Oh yeah.
episode 3 to 4. I don't know.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I mentioned that your unwillingness to let what would have
that's
stopped
right,
current
'cause I
you.
got stopped at the border.
Yeah. The fact that wasn't the factor when that was presented to you then is the only reason you did it. That's huge. I do think there's a level of jaded, and this may be anecdotal, and it may be because everyone I surround me with is proof of it. I feel like that's an uncanny coincidence.
You know what? Here's another catalyst though.
Okay.
That works for me is you just start doing it. So like when I started like being a homeowner,
Right.
there were projects that were too big for me.
Yeah.
Too big. They I didn't know what I was doing.
But the first step in doing them was owning it.
But like, so when I lived in my first house, or my first house in Maine, I heard something in the walls. I could hear like things in
Little
the walls.
mice and chipmunks, yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So one day I just hit the wall with a hammer, put a hole in the sheetrock
To see?
just to start, to see like, oh, maybe I can see something in there.
Couldn't.
And it turned into an entire gutting of the whole house.
What's wrong with you? For a mouse?
Yeah, it turned out to be a lot of rats.
Oh, fuck, dude.
But
You're like, don't even give me that, dude. You just paid X amount of dollars to have bats removed from your attic, dude. I'm such an idiot. I couldn't get them out, and I love them. Okay, they're cute.
no, they
I
are
want to
awesome.
kill them. So
No, don't kill them.
you can't.
It's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
good.
found that out.
It should be illegal to kill any like snakes too. Like
I know. I hate that, dude. Mice, dude.
spiders.
The other thing is,
No,
like-
fuck mice though, and rats.
Really, mice? Every mouse I catch. So my cat won't kill them, and I'll catch them, and they're so fucking cute, dude.
Until they die in the wall, and then they smell for 3 weeks. Like,
So here's my question: If by shielding, right, because we didn't entertain the bat trap not letting out other things that might be in my attic, like a mouse, that means they're gonna die in there. What happens? They just,
die.
but then they just.
actually, no. A lot of mice, they just have routes up and down the walls. I mean, they can climb and.
Oh, they'll probably chew their way through insulation and out the house.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Well, if they want to get out, but they don't need much water. They get their water from food. They're like, nah, dude. They're like.
I found out we get our water from food too because I haven't been drinking water lately at all, and I'm alive. Dude, I did like an inventory. I have been the last couple of days because I'd thought about it. I've been working on shit like crazy. Not just the euphemism.
No, I bet
like,
you.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm insane. And then I realized, like, dude, you haven't drank a sip of fucking water, and I'm fine. I mean, I guess I might be dying. But
I worked with a guy in the summertime pouring concrete, and he would smoke cigars all day. And drink Pepsi.
That's me, dude.
And I got so worried about him. I was like, Dale, do you want some water?
He's like, there's water and Pepsi.
No, he goes, I don't drink that shit. He had like,
He goes, fish shit in it.
yeah, that's what he said. Fish shit in that. All right, Dale. Have it your way, man. He's probably going to live longer than I am.
Probably. This is what we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
These guys that medicate their deficits actually outlive us. We're like, we're going to take them on and we're not going to self-treat them. Then we die from a stroke.
I'm going to go
A heart attack.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what
Where are we
just
going?
doing. The thing is,
Oh,
though,
yeah,
that
just
isn't
starting.
enough all the
Just
time.
starting.
Yeah. So I have like multiple business plans in motion, but it doesn't mean that they're going to come to fruition. So the guy you're talking about.
Much more intangible. For me, that's like a much more like,
Oh.
you're like, yeah, that's different.
Mine
than
requires a
putting
lot more
fucking
players.
hammer in
Yeah.
the wall.
What you want to hear? So I know I was on this like tangent a few times about like not ideas that were stolen, like someone heard mine and did it, but that were just done.
I think about that so
I have
much
another
now.
one.
Oh, another one.
Oh fuck!
Another
Did I
one.
miss all my cues? This one's actually, again, why am I burping so much? This one's like really uncanny.
Good idea on the fucking beer this time.
I know what the
I'm burping too.
Blue Moon and Allagash is like the same fucking beers by different companies. Little girly beer. Daniel, that is a
This
gender
stuff is
stereotype.
strong, dude. Yeah, you can't say that anymore. You
I
can
know,
say
I'm
baby,
sorry.
Baby beer.
I
Actually,
actually.
is this 5.2?
Is that real? You can't? That the people get upset about that?
I do.
No, you don't. You don't get upset about it. 5.4%.
Oh, you're beating me.
Yeah, that's right. Wait. So I wanted to shoot a horror movie about sleep paralysis.
Yeah, we talked about that.
That's not that. I mean, it is original to the point where,
You know
where
who
I
we
came
could
up
get
with it.
to
It wasn't.
sponsor that?
Who?
Dan Gummins.
Okay, there we go. Dan, you're sponsoring it. But
Thanks, Dan,
thank you, Dan, in advance. We need $200,000 check for pre-production.
for pre.
Yeah, just that. That's just putting us in an apartment in Manhattan so we can move and shake. That's nothing. So that ended up, I had that idea 4 or 5 years ago, and I think there's a movie on it right now. Just came out like a couple months ago, but that's not it. So I'm telling that story to my sister and brother-in-law, and brother-in-law, Kelsey's sister and her husband. And I go, she starts talking about still dealing with it. And I'm like, dude, everyone wears tech now. I was like, what if I work with a coder and we make an app on an Apple Watch or a Samsung Android watch, whatever, that's registering stress factors in your body, heart rate, stress, sweat release, whatever, that it's picking up on these cues to vibrate you out of this before it happens.
I was gonna say to vibrate you into it.
Okay, well, the people that suffer from it would be like, fuck you, I don't want that. But here's the thing. And if it didn't work, it sends a push notification to your phone to really wake you up, right? And they were like, that is a really cool idea. They're like, oh, I'd use that 100% because it's terrible if you get like scary ones.
How many people get sleep paralysis?
A lot more than you think. Because I thought it was really fringe too until I
me.
looked into it.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a brilliant idea.
Well, get
Good
this.
thing you're
It's
doing it on a
taken.
fucking podcast.
I looked that up. I'm like, that's so specific. And not only is it taken, it was just done.
So listen. I've been thinking about you lately.
Oh, I need an aw button.
Oh.
How have I not done this yet?
We've only said it every
Dude, I have me, Nikki, and
episode.
Laura doing it, and me, you, and Steve doing it, and I have used none of it.
Well, put it in there.
What the fuck? All right, continue.
The fact that somebody else did it is one, a compliment.
And an affirmation, right?
But listen, you can do it better. I mean, it's not like
I don't think that highly of myself. So like the
no. Now I'm saying you, but you could. But it's not like so. Listen, you look at that one and you go, "What's it lacking?" And then you just do it again and you just do it better. You add things that you would rather have in there.
yeah.
What are you doing in a different spot? Like your housing idea.
Yeah. So I was gonna go down that where one of the investors that was already signed in, like ready to roll, was saying, you have a very unique take. You know, this was your idea first, so it's very original. Doesn't matter if someone's doing it now. You can still do it somewhere else and better. And I said, well, I honestly can't do it better. The people they have that they've hired to do it, I found out it was one of the mountains, the big resorts, and they're hiring an engineering and an interior design firm from one of the bigger cities. I'm not going to do it better than them. That's not my forte. I could still do my idea as well as I could do it in another spot. And really, if you want to get down to it, the same spot, fuck them. It doesn't cancel my idea because they're doing it. It was my idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but it was. Like, it sucks that I'll have to feel like I'm emulating them now because I'm not.
But you know, like there's Amazon. I mean, you take Amazon, right? One of the biggest companies in the world. Isn't Alibaba the same company?
Yeah.
Isn't it the same idea?
Yeah, actually, their express company, which actually ships now to here, is blowing up because they ship here now. Like,
Right.
they used to just be wholesaling at some point to here. I don't know about there, but...
So, you know, it is frustrating when somebody takes your idea, but you just go, I'll just do it again. It's not like everybody knows they did it.
Do you honestly think one of the... Because, like, I was thinking, we're not going to give away too much to make anyone upset, right? But let's just say this. Up in the area I was looking at, there's only literally less than the fingers on one hand amount of companies that could do some of the work that need to be done, if this makes sense. And they all knew about it because I had to get prices.
Yeah, they probably put it up to bid.
Or my guess is because they're all buddies with the guys that live up there, there's not a big community in the winter.
No.
So my guess was if one of the big guys, I could tell you a name off air. Wait, I could probably tell you a name and mute this. Can I do
that? Oh, yeah.
So I know him through connections and whatever. My guess was if he asked one of the builders, hey, I have an architectural company lined up and designers, and I want to do something really unique here and whatever because we need housing. Why the fuck would that guy not tell him? He owes me nothing. He probably forgets who I am.
So wait, what are you saying?
My question was, how likely do you think it is that they were actually tipped off as opposed to just having the exact same idea in the same location?
Oh, you think he tipped him
I
off?
honestly think they were tipped off by somebody.
But you know what?
I think it's too unique.
You know what would be cool? Is if that person has done it already, they're going to streamline that. And they're going to be able to do it cheaper
For when I do it?
they do it.
I just
So
hate
if you
that.
call them up and you go, hey, I want to do the same thing.
Right.
and you
My
guys
thing
know
is
it-
honestly and vulnerably an ego thing. It is my own issue because it's not even for other people. I was going to gain no notoriety off doing that. But it's just for me, it's like, that was my fucking idea. I would have liked to have been the guy that did it.
Yeah, but you know what? This is not an investing podcast or like that kind of podcast. But,
No.
But if you're going to make money, who cares?
That's true. It's true. And the thing is, I had to be honest, like, I really was tied up about that for a while. Again, I'm not in a great place. I have not got the help I probably should have gotten yet still. So, I mean, some of those things are really difficult to deal with. Now, most normal, healthy people, they wouldn't be. To me, it tied me up, dude.
Well, maybe. I would be in the same place.
It fucked me up. It made me, like, fucked me up. But the thing, what?
Listen, so if ego is part of it,
It is.
It's just fine. You know
And
what?
it is.
Who cares?
I'm honest, it is. I wish it wasn't.
That place is going to be branded.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? You might be able to brand it better.
Maybe.
And then people would be like, oh, that. If they know yours, they'll be like, oh, the other place like Daniel Taylor's.
I thought about you and me, actually. Not that we should talk about this off the podcast, but it's kind of cool. We should do one prototype ourselves because the prices of the actual building stuff has come down. Also, land didn't inflate at the same rate buildings did. It did go up, but not at the same rate. We could do a prototype strictly for Airbnb because I know we can shoot a marketing campaign just as well, if not better, than they will.
Well,
We could do
free land.
I know. I'm thinking about it because we could do a prototype, a working prototype, and I could do it. I could do us even better. The investor that was ready because they loved this idea would probably still do it.
And I can do it on waterfront.
That's what I was going to say. Because if the setting's pretty enough for the marketing,
I'm not bragging, by the way. Sorry, I hate that shit.
It's not bragging. You have waterfront. We could build. What's bragging about a fact?
Yeah, right. No, I know, but it's like, okay,
but it's also fun.
Yeah.
I'm just here's the thing.
But listen.
We honestly should be talking about this off the thing, but it's fun. It's cool. Some people like this. They're idea people. I mean, who knows who hears this? But it also does tie back to mental health and whatever. But the thing is, the thing I found with Airbnb, at least looking at them myself, is it really doesn't matter where they are if you make the location look dope.
Right.
I mean,
dopamine. Dude, that fits into like both. Everybody says I mean now and dope.
Oh, right.
Dopamine.
I mean dope. Dopamine.
Dope.
Yeah, I mean, you shoot like a drone video coming out of the 2-person jacuzzi on the front porch, clankering, champagne glasses in a light snowfall. You do a cinema slider across the frontscape to exaggerate the architecture. I'm telling you, I can see the commercial and me paying $500 a night for it. Me. And I don't do that. That's how I know.
I'm down.
It really does suck that the vacuum.
Donate my
where is that? Should we even say? Probably not.
Doesn't matter. I mean, it's not
just tell
far.
me after.
20 minutes.
Yeah. But I don't know. I've been thinking about it because there's absolutely nothing stopping us from doing that. And we would have to scale it down just because the guarantee is not so high. The beauty about where that was going to be was the intrinsic vacuum of that area was just a no-brainer. investment wise. It really was. I mean, it's like it became so evident that it was like not anecdotal. It was just evidence.
That's the thing, though. People miss an opportunity and they go, "That's it. I missed it."
I do, yeah. I get defeated.
And so I missed a couple opportunities last month on things that I was excited to pull the trigger on.
Yes, I know one of them.
And I just went back on.
Okay, hold on. Not to interrupt you. I'm interrupting you for your own good.
Yeah.
Because we do this one-sided a lot. That was definitely also feedback I've been getting. I know about one of them that you showed me. And we had even talked about maybe if it worked, maybe I would jump in and help in some ways if I could. But I never asked you, because I'm a piece of shit, how that affected you. I don't know, because you're not quite as passionate outwardly as I am, where like I didn't know how bought in you were to the idea.
Yep.
So I didn't, honestly, it wasn't even like I didn't care. I just didn't really think it would have affected you. Did it?
Yeah.
I never asked you
that. Yeah, it does. So one thing that talking to you helps me with is like you miss an opportunity and you are temporarily devastated.
Oh.
Which used to happen, right? Because you're like, I was so excited, and now it's over.
You also lose quickly, just not a huge segue, but you do lose a ton of time money. I spent literally thousands of hours on that idea that I lose. Like
you didn't. It's just
right. That's
Yeah,
still being victim. I'm still in my pity party. Yeah. It isn't lost. It's just right. It has to be pivoted.
It's on pause. So
right. Continue. Sorry. So you used to let it temporarily destroy you.
Well, for me, listen. So if you're boxing, I don't know if you've boxed before. I think you have.
I did some light like MMA shit. Not really. Yeah.
If you miss a punch,
right,
it fucking is the worst.
Oh yeah.
You lose, like you could have thrown 10 punches with that. You throw a punch and you miss. It's like, why? Everything is gone. You know what I mean?
Well, it also takes like 3 times the energy to miss.
That's what I mean.
Oh, right.
You miss and you got to pull it back. And
right.
It's like,
and then your momentum's off.
Yeah.
You're
so
not moving
same thing in this kind of scenario where you are ready, you throw the punch and you miss, and you're like, it just feels like the end. But if you give it a little time and you realize, listen, it's another one's gonna come up. I'm gonna get the shot again.
Right.
I'm gonna get another shot.
Yeah.
And then you can take it. You learn something from the first one, and then you take another one, and maybe you hit, maybe you miss again, but you realize like, all right, it's gonna come up again.
Yeah.
And so missing the one last month or whatever, a couple months ago, I did more research, and I realized this is gonna present. These kind of opportunities are gonna present again. Even if you're in a small area like this. If you're in a city, oh my God, it's everywhere. Like there's opportunity.
And it honestly, dude, in some ways, in my research anyway, small areas in the way we're being kind of
with what you're talking
secretive.
about.
They're better in some ways.
Yeah. Well, and you have another. there's more resort towns. I mean, it's not like you just go up there.
Oh no, right.
In fact, I don't even like that town as much as another one,
dude. Again, I'm not trying to detract from your point, but we went with this investor. And we went and literally were to the point of scouting land, calling to put bids down. We're totally serious. And on the ride home, we were up there for a few hours scouting and tired and fucking like we ate, we got rained on. It was work. We eat, we have a drink, we're driving home, and we're talking about if we do this, we have to make that drive every day.
That's
Middle of
what
winter,
I'm saying, man.
we got to build this.
Don't like that drive.
And I'm like, I mean, it's, again, nothing is easy. And like, yeah, that's a very small sacrifice for the output that idea would have had. But it's still true. And it's like, here's the thing. If we want to talk about our mental deficits, wherever our baselines lie, that is one of them. You can't, so here's the thing. Like they say to be careful about who you get in business with, right? I think it's not so much that. It's who you can be straight up honest with. They have to know what is going on. Like, as time goes on more and more, and we've talked about doing a business idea together for years now, but I feel more like we certainly could, because the things that would, communication is the whole thing, right? It's just communication. The thing that stops most communication is not being able to be honest. Like, if I honestly text you honestly. And I was like, dude, can't go do the flooring. I was going to bust out the floor in 3 days, right? I'm fucked up. I'm on edge. I'm going to blow up. I need 2 days. You know me well enough to know I'll give him the 2 days because when he comes back, he'll do more in the 2-day rebound than he would have done all fucking week in that headspace. And it's true.
Yeah.
But if you don't know someone and you can't trust them to be that candid with you, you're going to make conclusions that aren't real. It might ruin the relationship, and this happens.
It's easy.
Yes.
I've been burned. I mean,
Yeah. I was about to make a like a silent nod to a certain yeah, just exactly about that.
and I've been angry for since it happened, but it's like that is what happened, and I learned from it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you end up being again, part of you is jaded, but part of you is enlightened. It's like you kind of get both sides.
You missed that punch, but now you see how to hit better the next time.
And I think that is kind of life too right now. At least for me, it's like I kind of did miss my punch, or a lot of them, and now it's like I'm like, do I give up the round or do I refine my rhythm and get this other person on my speed, in my rhythm, in my meter? And it is how I've been feeling. It's weird that it's kind of being against the analogy of business, but it's true. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And so there's fighters that go for the knockout, which sounds like your idea was a knockout. But if you can win the round by jabs,
that's true.
Then do it.
I actually liked fighting guys. Sparring guy. I say sparring, but like there was never fucking sparring. We're like we're fighting.
Let's go 65%.
Yeah, on a cement floor. Like this guy, I won't say his name because anyway, moved the whole gym to my basement at one point in Farmington, Granite Heights.
Yeah.
And we would do it. It was so stupid, dude. So I would never again talk about being naive.
Yeah.
I'm letting people do that, signing no waivers.
No.
Stupid. But another friend of mine used to always call himself my bodyguard, and fun fact, he was, because he was paid to do that for some shows, just for not for me, but for the show, like security. You would, I don't want to say his name. I'll tell you after. You know him. You know him. I used to work out with him all the time, and it's not who you're immediately thinking, of course, because he hasn't even fought an inner thought. Never mind a person.
No, I wasn't thinking.
The only thing he fights,
it did cross my mind,
is how to put on his pants right in the morning. But anyway, I sparred with this guy, and he was always looking for that. He had like that Chuck Liddell stance, and he was always just looking to knock someone out, even on my cement floor. And he was the easiest guy to fight because you always knew his play. There was no question.
Watch that backhand.
You warm up right, and you get your combos right, and you get your movement right, and you just dance around him. And he was lanky too, so if you get in tight, forget about
all
it.
Over,
Nothing he could do. All his power's gone.
Yeah.
He's looking for that. I loved it. I want to see also, I know you boxed professionally, semi-professionally in Mexico.
Well, it ended up being televised, but it was like
even amateur boxing is the same as like amateur skateboarding. You're still making money. You're still taking real fights.
Yeah. It was one fight, and it was awesome. And
you have the boxer build. I look at you sometimes because I think in fighting, because I've done different.
I have short arms. I'm like Tyson.
Yeah.
But I don't hit nearly as hard.
Yeah. But I've always done some form of martial arts forever. My whole life. And I forgot the book I read in grade school, but it was about, I don't know, some gold rush out in California. And like, it was this like scrawny, lanky guy. And his partner was like, some guy got mad at him. And he's like, no, let's reschedule this fight for next week. And he's like, you're going to get killed. And he's like, I feel bad for that guy. And he's like, why? And he's like, because I'm going to read every book there is about fighting, and I'm going to kill him next week. And he did. He didn't kill him, but he beat him. Yeah. And I always felt like that. Like, it was like you watch like Sherlock Holmes, and he slows everything down and breaks it down. And of course, you can't do that. I'd get knocked the fuck out, right? Yeah. But I feel like I did have that like edge of, I was always scared, even growing up fighting. And like we didn't even know it, the same dude that taught, I don't want to put him on blast, but just nonsense, Yeah. I mean, it's a cool basis in like movement.
It was definitely eye-opening, yeah.
Because it was Shaolin Kempo, Kung Fu, and Jiu-Jitsu.
Was it Jiu-Jitsu too?
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, no,
it was mostly Kempo and a little Kung Fu.
And a lot of older people kicking me in the face.
Yeah, but the cool thing was he would always pair me up because he was an asshole. At least I thought as a kid. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe it was good. I remember my mom always told this stories. I was really young doing it, and my mom was a worrywart, way worse than me, I should say. And she's like, oh shit.
Stand down.
Stand down. Don't. Stand down. And then she goes, Mister, don't put him up against this big purple belt, big, like 4 years my senior. And apparently the story was, and my mom was dramatic, so who knows? She's like, he knew that getting you scared was the ticket. I'm like, oh, that's real good, Mom. Instill that in me. Yeah, 10-4. That worked real well. Get me to be fear-based. But I beat him, knocked him on his ass.
Did?
Oh, yeah, I was terrified. So, again, the thing is like, so the story is you won, but it's like, no, well, I probably went way harder than him and freaked out. It's like, that's not winning.
That's what happened in my boxing match.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
The guy said beforehand, don't
it was an exhibition.
Go easy on me.
Oh, the other fighter?
Yeah. And I thought
he said go easy?
Yeah, and I thought he was being an asshole. I thought
you thought he was taunting
sarcastic.
You. Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck this guy. And I just wound myself right up and went in.
And the sad part is that only works in amateur.
Oh, yeah.
You fight that passionately, you get murdered.
Yeah.
To people that are calculated.
Well, what was cool,
or you get lucky.
With the Sherlock Holmes type thing, what was cool is I was dodging punches for the first part of the round, like watching him come in, move in, and then he nailed me with one, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing that anymore.
No, but obviously adrenaline does have some basis in slowing things down, or seeming to, even if it doesn't.
Well, I think the Sherlock Holmes thing was experience slows things way down. So if
I think
he's not doing that, but experience is doing that.
Well, also it was, and I think it's emphasized in the edit, maybe not, a brilliant edit. That's one of my favorite scenes, the Phantom Cam work. Guy Ritchie did that, I think.
Yeah.
That's a really good movie.
Guy Ritchie
is fantastic.
My favorite movie is Snatch.
I was literally just gonna tell it. I knew it would. You like those kind of movies. Snatch is really good.
Yeah.
Both Sherlock Holmes and its sequels, really good, dude. Jude Law, Robert, come on. Killer. But it's not. Anyway, my point was in the edit, I'm pretty sure they're emphasizing that he's thinking out the moves, and it shows the moves in real time. Like his mind's just doing that. He's not doing it in real time, kind of thing. He's like, he's going to come up. I'm going to startle him. Right. He's planning
from experience.
That's right.
He's going to do this.
Right.
I'm going to do this.
Right. I always said that about Anderson Silva too, watching his early stuff, where it's like you could see this guy not only making pre-calculated decisions in real time, but making counter decisions based on if they went wrong. That's how good this guy was in his prime.
Yeah.
Silva was fucking unreal. I don't know how we got on MMA. You and I've also never talked about MMA except right now.
I guess I didn't even know you did that much. I mean, we talked about it once.
The guy I trained with, who again I just don't want to name, for him, but I just don't want to give him, whatever. Right. Was really good. Won every fight he took. He only took a few, but just killer. Really? With NEF when they were in their inception.
Wait, what do you do? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What guy?
Do you know who I'm talking about?
There's two guys we're talking about. Are you talking about the teacher?
Hold on. Cover your mouth and say it. Anyway, sorry guys. I forget the audio. They're going to be like, what the fuck? The podcast just cut out. They're going to be checking their headphones. Sorry. Holy shit, we can't do that. No. My bad. But these guys were bona fide killers. Locally.
Well, I've fought with the one. Or not fought. I've rolled jiu-jitsu with him, and I was like terrified. Yeah, yeah.
But the other thing is, you call it what you want and whatever personally, but really, it's like music for me. Identity. Really talented. He was. I can't take it. Really was. And mature, dude. Like I learned, I hate that. It's a big reason I never rolled, didn't want to do jiu-jitsu. I just don't want to. I deal enough with my overthinking with people's deficits. I don't want to act them out with them. I'm just not about it. I don't care enough. But like that was really neat where like sparring really could be mature. You clip someone because because the thing with sparring that I try to say to Steve, why he really needs to do it.
I can't believe he's never fought, dude.
I tell Steve this anyway. Well, I probably shouldn't say. I don't want to make him feel bad. I'll tell you after. But he needs to. He needs to spar. Not hit a heavy bag. Shitty. He needs to spar. Because there's a thing in sparring that sucks. and this guy got it, the guy we're talking about, where like I could have landed that if I could have went faster, but faster also meant 80%, not 60, because inherently the speed I need to get that opening is going to be harder, period. I can't throw it faster, lighter.
Yeah.
I just can't.
You learn to set them up.
Right, but I think the maturity of that room amongst the few guys that we let do it all the time, like we would iron out some of the crazy, because it's just dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to let white belts roll with white belts.
Well, right. But that was the thing. It was like realizing that he knew and respected that, and also never, like if he saw you come in for an open one and moved a little bit, but you knew, and you guys had that thing where you like, not like, sorry, like I wanted to see if I could get it with your reaction, and you did. He knew that was beneficial, and he would try them too and land them sometimes, because you want to get them in. It's not like, and then maybe in the same sense, it is a little bit of a clip. Like it's like, well, hey, I could, we can open up. This is the respect to come back down.
Like, okay, we're going.
It was cool. It was cool. And again, I bet he would think, and maybe he'll see this, I don't know, that I wouldn't say that, especially now, and I would, because it's true.
Yeah.
It was really cool, very mature and insightful, like actually a learning experience.
And the reason we're talking about this is because we're talking about missing punches, missing opportunities.
Thank you so much.
Right? I mean, that's why we started.
Well,
this.
I looked back and I was like, I saved the first one, but I'm lost.
Yeah.
I don't even know what we were talking about. Yeah, but the thing is, everyone should practice martial arts, some form. Box, roll,
that's
wrestle.
an easy analogy to make to life. And it all comes with experience, which comes with age. And it's like, you're 30 and you are way beyond me in certain areas, but in certain things.
I mean, I don't even know that that's true. I mean, I think
that's very true.
I think we have our strengths that we can speak on confidently. That is true.
Yeah.
And I think here's the other part about us that I think maybe is why it's catching on with people that see this. We know it, and you can tell we know it, and this is not a pissing contest. It never has been.
And
but
we don't if we don't know it. Yeah, right.
Well, right, but we don't even do that, period. Like, we just don't do that.
No.
It's not a show for a camera.
Right.
We just decided to put it on camera because it's unique.
Yeah.
I can't think of a fucking friend, dude, I don't have some iota, even if it's from their end, right? And I'm guilty of it too sometimes, where there's something, some competitive.
Want to beat them at.
Yeah, or like some ego statement that's been long said between the parties.
Is I had a buddy once that said, and that was he claimed that, and he believed that, and I think that may have ended our kind of our friendship, was that he believed that nobody is friends. Let's see, how do you say that? Unless you believe that you are better than them.
Oh, it's
in
crazy.
Some way.
It's crazy.
And
everyone would have one friend.
Well,
and you wouldn't be. No, that doesn't even work.
It's a very strange belief to have, and it was like, yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It's like, oh, so now you just think. So now I'm like wondering, what do you think you're better than me?
Well, talk about a toxic thing to say. Yeah. It's a broken thing to think.
Right.
But you don't say. I mean,
yeah, and we're not. I mean, we don't talk anymore. But yeah.
But that would only work. I mean, that thing is so underbaked.
I'll have to find out what exactly the wording was on that.
Right, because that is just. If that's true of everyone, nobody would have a friend, because the one that's better, the one that isn't as good, wouldn't be their friend. They'd be friends with someone less.
You would think that.
Oh, both parties think they're better than.
Right.
Oh.
Something like that.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's fucking insane.
But
who walks around with thinking that?
Even if it is, like, no, it doesn't bother me. I know you're better than me at your thing.
Well, I was literally just when Laura and Nikki were on, we talked at length about, because we had a hard time, all three of us, with the ideology behind judging people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like it. And I don't like being judged. I don't even believe in it. Who am I?
Weird how they're so popular too, those shows, those events.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people like hierarchy, and they don't know that they do. Yeah. I just think it's so ingrained in our experience. But we said that, and I made it known as much as I could during the show, but then in post, we talked about it here, where I was just like, we had to know and be okay with the fact that there are some things that every one of these people are better at than we are, and there's some things that we're better than they are. All we know is the things that we've spent countless hours being good at, we are good at. Because if you don't even at least have that, you can't be confidently up there even giving critiques.
Yeah.
Never mind judging, just giving feedback. You can't.
Right.
Because there's why? From what base are you doing that? You're not. So we did have to do it. And it's like, It wasn't comfortable. I don't like it. That's a weird thought from that friend. Even
So-
if that's not perfectly it, it's still weird.
It was
Imagine
something
thinking that.
interesting. Yeah, and then it can. Yeah, now you're looking at everybody like that, like, oh. So anyway,
Well, what worldview do you live in where like you don't realize? Like, of course, there's things you're better at than I am. There's things I'm better at than you are.
Yeah,
it's
I'll have
just
I'll have to
obvious.
iron that out, like what that exact.
God, that's
thought was.
weird.
So anyway, you were feeling rough because you had some ideas taken. I hope that you
That is
feel
not-
better.
Not fully why, but yeah,
Or contributed.
it did contribute. I think I am. I'm fragile. Here's the summary I've come to. Talk about the tail end, not the end, but a tail end of an episode.
You know what's crazy? This hour
Flew.
way faster than that last. Was,
Dude, I'm telling you, I bet we're right.
I bet it's painful.
guarantee if we watch it, we go, oh no.
I bet if it's a shitty
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. I bet it is. But the thing I'm realizing is this, and self-realization is fine. And even if I'm wrong, attempting it is a good practice. That's how I've looked at it. So I go, I'm so sensitive right now because I need to up my baseline. I need to make my average better because it's not very good. And honestly, I haven't made a great attempt to make it better, so why would it be? I can only do so much in here.
Yeah.
I need objectivity. I need someone from the outside to either invalidate or validate things and put some perspective in, right? But in that, I also realized I think I've been disturbed to some extent my whole life. And I think when I was more egotistical and wanted to be perfect, I wanted to be Superman. I didn't want that to be the case. I hid from it and ran from it and didn't even try to actively remember examples of that. But as I get older, I start thinking back and I'm like, man, yeah, maybe I've been at the mercy of an imbalance forever. I mean, forever. Like most people, like a big reason I did.
Do we have time for a pee break?
Yeah.
Keep them entertained.
Yeah. I'll cut it. I need to start cutting more because I can. I'll cut both. We'll be right back. All right. Nate's back. I don't remember what I was saying. Something about realizing I was disturbed
Yeah,
younger.
you're fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't matter. I was going to go down. And it's like, yeah, there's no revelation. So there's no point to get to. It's just, that's really what it is. And I'm realizing that I need balancing. In some ways, and I don't know if this is the best thing to say, but in some ways, and maybe this is what everyone thinks before therapy, but I don't see how it will help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't been, and I don't know, but
Yeah.
if it can help you forget, or not forget, but like realize, like, listen, you were a kid. You weren't responsible for things your parents did. I mean,
even it's tough, man. Well, here's the thing. So that investor, I promised her that I would do it. We had a long talk, like a 2-hour talk. I smoked a cigar by my fire. It was great. It was a beautiful day. It was really awesome. We talked at length. I told her about some other ideas that were taken. She's a long-time investor that would just do anything because she believes in ideas and specifically mine. But she also just believes in ideas. She's great. She's a great person. But I told her I would, because the bottom line is, and again, I think we do have a strong leaning on this show of mental health. I mean, I think that's really what it's kind of become. It's becoming like, I think it will be the two guys sitting in a French cafe talking philosophy and life, and we do that. But I think a lot of what we talk about, because we need that from each other as friends, I don't know, is mental health. Like maybe we don't have it anywhere else. Yeah.
we've covered that already. I don't.
Yeah,
have that.
I think so. It's really cool. It's very relieving, and it's nice. But I think again, it's small feedback. It's not a ton of people, but the people that are giving it are like, wow, it's really cathartic.
That's
really cathartic. Like it's nice. They feel like they get some relief too. I mean, which is so cool to hear, even at a small scale. Who cares? Even if it
Listening
stays
to
that.
other people's problems, and then it kind of gives you some distance and perspective too. So
Yeah. And I think we do. The benefit is the reason I think it will work for people that don't know us is that these people know us and they know we're being real.
So hopefully it translates.
I would hope, but I feel like if anyone could tell, it would be them, not strangers that were being. That it's,
well, they know
just
you. I don't think anybody that I know has given me any feedback. No, they haven't.
Oh man, I love it. You're gonna end up showing this. Like the people that you know well are gonna end up seeing this in its refinement, and it's gonna be like they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Because they're not gonna see the build.
Right.
Which the funny thing is, mine aren't either. I realized I went from literally being a hermit on social media. I was a social media kid.
Yeah,
My career relied on it, to being a ghost for years. And I just start posting frantically about this stuff, and the algorithm's like, fuck you. Like, we're not going to show you to anyone. And they're not.
If I could leave you with one thing that's helped me lately,
Yeah.
if you want.
Anything. Not to sound desperate.
I don't know where it came from, but and if I think of it, I'll tell you. But it was no stupid
As
questions.
I choke.
No stupid questions with Stephen Dubner, who wrote Freakonomics, I believe.
Ooh, I know that.
Yep, and Angela Duckworth.
Look at you with the references.
Yeah,
I can't even remember
Jesus,
a
but
super famous actor.
give me a whiskey and an Allagash. I can remember. So she was talking about how mad she got with her kids, and it's like, okay, it's a common thing, right? Like kids are frustrating, and she called to mind a study or something or a way of being, and it was a psychologist, I think, that would say, like, you'd break down this situation, like, who am I? What's the situation?
Mm.
What is a person like me who has this identity do in a situation like this? So you'd break it down like, your kid's freaking out, right? Who am I? I'm a dad. What's the situation? My kid is frustrated and yelling. What does a dad do when their kid is frustrated? And it's not scream at the fucking kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but that is what happens.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Until you go like and break it down and go like,
right.
I'm a dad. My kid's frustrated. I'm there to comfort, encourage, listen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's and that has really helped me out. I'm 40 fucking years old, man. I should have known that. And going into parenting late, you'd think you would.
It's funny. We just talked about parenting, and that's like that idea is one of. Yeah, it's scary. It's like, but I don't know if I have the tools.
When you're talking about, being fucked up your entire life.
Oh, yeah.
That isn't you anymore, though. So
yeah, I think I need to,
You know what I mean?
Removal from that is probably key.
Right.
And I guarantee that's what's said. Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, not irredeemable, but.
It was funny. I was in Obashan tonight, and the kid said something, the cashier, who was a former student of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And he said something about regretting something. And I was like, man, we all have them. It's not going to be your last one. And those don't define you, though. Like, they do. Like, when you're thinking about them.
Well, you can make them define you.
When you're at night and they're just running through your mind, all the dumb shit you've done and cringy and heartbreaking and like. But then if you go, well, who am I now? Like, who am I right now? It's not that guy anymore. Like,
right.
And we talked about reincarnation on the show in chapters of, different lifetimes. Like,
yeah. You have to believe in reincarnation when we're reincarnated in our own life. I'm not the dude that I was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think also it's to embrace change, even if it's weird. Not good, right? Like everyone's like, embrace change, it's better. Sometimes it's not, but it's still there. Like you can't ignore it. Like, having the death of your parents young through tragic means, both of them, it stops being this thing that you wake up sad about. And I really don't. And it starts being this thing where you have to come to terms with, like, you're never going to be the same. You're just not. Grief is, like, to me, it's seeming more every day. Like, it's not something you deal with and move on, though you should move on. It's something that you have to always factor into your equation now. And that's fine, but you have to learn how to do it, right? I think my thing is, like, I mentioned this when Nikki and Laura were here, and I said I wouldn't get into it. And I mentioned like thinking I had the tools to deal with it, right? Because I'm this, I pride myself in intellectualism and looking at things, in a way that can figure them out, and that's been me. But then like you have to come to a point where you're like honest enough with yourself that your inventory is, well, I don't have the tools. And it is what it is. Like there's no pride there. It's like you have to, do you want to be better or do you not? That's kind of where I'm at. Where like I'm very high functioning, but I feel like for people that don't know me acutely, they don't know that. They just see like, where is this fucking guy? He doesn't play music anymore. He's not coming out with anything. Like they don't know about my businesses they don't know about. So they're just like, what is he doing? Rotting in his dungeon? Like, I don't get it because they don't know the story. Yeah. They just see the figure that they've made, And again, I think this is why this stuff is really relieving. I know that's heavy stuff. And I'm not, I'm really not trying to get any pity. I'm not saying it to, for any effect. Again, I don't have to say even that disclaimer, but the way I grew up, if that shit was said, it was for a reason. Like they wanted something for it. Yeah. I don't. I'm just saying it is what it is. This is our podcast. This is what we talk about. And that's part of me. But it's like, there's more, I guess, in ownership of that stuff than just letting it doom you. I think that's what I need to move into. It is what it is. I'm the guy that happened to. I didn't expect it. I was not prepared, but here I am. It's like my book can't end now. So it's like, you got to pick up the pen, man. You got to keep writing. Yeah. Maybe that means today I filled my thermos and went to therapy. Whatever. Then that's that chapter.
I hate to do another analogy.
Do it. I love them.
Doing it, but you're talking about tools, and it's like, listen, yeah, you can build a log cabin with an axe.
Well, you could rip out your sheetrock to find the mouse, but you weren't going to fix the roof yet.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't, I have a hammer, but I don't have a battery powered crosscuts. Miter saw. It's like you got to go get those tools.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's funny though, because that from the outset is like, oh, that's a simple analogy. It's not. It's exactly right. You don't have the tools you don't have. Period.
And your house is going to look like shit if you try using a hammer to
cut drywall.
Just cut drywall.
Oh, you could do it.
Yeah.
It'd be an art piece. Yeah, man. I think that's actually incorrect because there was like 4 minutes there. So we're like hour 20. It sucks too because I hate when we get on and again, I don't have context. I really like this episode.
I do too.
I really do. It might be my favorite.
Might be petering out though. I mean, for
points.
Yeah.
I was just saying that's not even right. Yeah. I let it go for a while before, and
Yeah.
Your little break. We'll cut out like 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Not long.
My needed.
You almost made it. You almost made it.
Wow, I saw it going. I was like, he's got some more to say.
You're like, yeah, he's picking up momentum again. We got to shut him down. Yeah, it was good, man. I do think candidly though, even to them or to the people just in the ears, I think there's maybe some people, and I don't know this to be true, not like we're some fucking authority on production, but I mean, maybe people listen to this that are younger that can't do production yet like we're doing. And maybe they hear that we say, listen, even if you desperately in your own world need the episodes, like I'd like to have 2 episodes to bank, especially when we actually start needing them. But like, listen, sometimes things go awry. Sometimes things aren't right.
Yeah. It didn't feel right. It was, an hour. It was pretty sure 10 last episode that felt like 2 days. And this one felt like.
But also, even beyond that, it's like, look at the topics we went to without trying. That's pretty telling of the mood of the episode.
Yeah, how the fuck did we get
I don't know. I'm literally curious how we got there. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad you can look it up.
Oh, I might not. I might just kill it.
Just delete it.
I don't know if it matters enough, That's another thing. I'm not going to go on a new one. I'm not going to pick up speed. But just in a simple couple sentences, I think knowing this has been beneficial for me lately. Even though I'm not better, it has helped. Knowing when to throw in the towel. I've never known. Not less than I've never done it, and I haven't. I've also never known when to. Even if I didn't throw it, I just never even knew when. It's the worst.
Yeah, it's like rumination.
Yeah.
When you just think about the same thing over and over.
And it's not even that so much I don't like, no one likes failure. but I always think there's more. And sometimes there's not more.
No.
Sometimes it's just, dude,
Just got to be done.
right, pivot. Shut it down.
Pivot.
Yep. Yeah. Well, as much as I really do like this, and I hope it is as cathartic for you as it is me and you.
Yeah, it helps me too.
Yeah, I wish we could
I mean, it's fucking
do this all night.
1 o'clock.
I know, we're the worst.
It's 1:30, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
As much as I hate staying up late, this does not fatigue me.
Oh, it's fun, man. It's so much fun. And it's so funny because, like, I remember, like, real quickly before we I remember all of the trials. I was thinking about, I took a friend of ours to lunch, and he had asked, like, directed, because I don't think I'd ever really told him a definitive time. And I looked up a phone recording because the first trial of this podcast was 2 years ago this fall, like almost literally right now, 2 years ago.
Really?
September something.
Yeah.
2 years. It took a year and a half, not consistent, but of trials here and there, spotty as they were at points, to even get anything on real recording. We did a trial in the studio with just my actual production gear, not this, like actual studio gear. And that went south quickly. But it took that long, and even still on episode, I don't even know what this is going to end up being with that one cut out. I think it's 6. Episode 6. And I bet at episode 60, we're still refining
I bet we're still working
and
now.
sculpting and rock tumbling. And so I have to say in closing, even though it's not many people, if you're watching this and you've made it an hour and 20 some odd minutes in, if there's something that really resonates with you, that you really dig and you'd like to see more of, let us know. Because unfortunately, at this point in the juncture of this show, we're only left to our demises, which I don't think are bad, to refine the show. But like, less than I want clickbaity followers, I want interaction. Like, I'd love to know what people really think about this that aren't just my friends and your friends. Like, it'd be really cool to see what someone thinks. Like, did something help them? Was something insightful? Or do they have something that's similar to something we're talking about? Because, you know, we're just people. And other just people can give just the same insight. Other people have stories and experiences, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe, ring the bell, do whatever the fun stuff is. If you're on the other platforms, if this has made it there yet, subscribe. We love it. Yeah. Is that
See
it?
you in the paralleliverse.
Oh, yeah, dude, the ad. I can't wait. I got to edit that with music and everything. I'm pumped. Anyway, guys, we will see you next time. We hope it's not too far in the future because I always forget how much fun these really are.
Yeah, they are.
We got to do them more often. Anyway,
Can't wait to do another
I've been
one.
Frank,
And Igor.
and we will see y'all next time.